Okay, so we've finished our vacuum bagging and we pulled the board off the rack. So now we just have to take it out of the bag. We let it run under vacuum for close to 3 hours. I kind of waited till the resin that I could feel through had cooled down. You could definitely feel that it was warming, so you knew that it was reacting. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the breather cloth and the bleeder cloth. The next thing we have to do is just peel off our tape.
Since the board fully cured inside the vacuum bag, we're going to use a razor blade to help us pull the tape up. Prep for lamination.
Next thing I'm going to do is kind of fair this back in and prep it for glassing over the foam that we have vacuumed down here. So I'm going to start out with a hard pad with 80 grit. That's pretty much what I'm going to do, because it's just kind of roughing it up and fairing stuff in.
Wade is focusing mostly on blending the areas around the stringer and where the high density foam meets the fiberglass. Wade is now going to tape off around the high density foam. He's going to do this to keep the excess resin from landing on the board.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a couple layers of 4 ounce just over this patched area that we fixed here. I'm not going to lap my rail just because the integrity of the rail is still the same. I didn't really sand into it or weaken it in any way. So I'm just going to strengthen this area. The laps were still intact. There was no breaks or anything. First layer I'm cutting so it only goes about a 1/4 inch past the foam, the high density foam I put in here.
Since we are doing a cut lap, the second layer of cloth is going to hang over quite a bit more, so it's a less precise cut. Laminating.
I'm going to lam 2 layers of 4 ounce. Stick it down the middle first. Pulling out all the excess resin from the wet out. First you force resin into the cloth, and you pull out excess. All laminating processes are wet out, pull out, fill. You always use light pressure going in, heavier pressure after you pass the midpoint, so you don't pull your glass when you're laminating.
Cut lap and prep.
So with the UV resin, this thing will be solid as a rock in 10 minutes, but your laps will cure a lot faster. Like, you can pretty much trim them right almost as soon as you get out. You can start trimming a lap. That's what I'm going to do. And this one, I'm just going to freehand the lap on this one because it's pretty visible. And if I get any tape, it'll be sanded off. You can see it's perfectly cuttable now. If you wait too long with UV, it just gets too hard. I'm just filing down the lap with a razor blade. I normally wouldn't do this, but on a glass surface, it's really easy, and it just takes down the glass really fast.
Hot coat. Once again, Wade will be taping off the area outside of our ding repair. This is to keep the resin off of the finished board.
Have some UV laminating resin, and I'm going to add surfacing agent to it. So with surfacing agent, you want to add at least 2%, if not 3 or 4%. It doesn't really matter. You just want to. You can't really put too much in, but it will thin your resin out. If you don't have enough, it'll stay just like laminating resin, and it will stay tacky. Basically gum up your sandpaper. Basically, you start down the middle again, and divide your pile up.
Notice how Wade keeps the brush upright. This spreads the resin evenly and pushes the resin into the weave of the cloth.
And cross stroke.
The cross stroke is commonly used in hot coating. This helps level the resin.
And then you do the weight of the brush drag, overlapping your strokes. Catalyzed resin cures from the inside out. So as it's curing, it's pushing the waxes rising to the surface. With the UV, it's curing from the outside in, so you need to give it a little extra time so the wax can rise up to the surface. Take them outside and put them outside in the shade, and the shade works great. I've never had one not cure properly. If you put it in direct light, it'll seal off before the wax has a chance to rise, and then you'll have like a laminating surface, and you're going to have to re-hot coat it.
With the finish this nice, all we have to do now is pull our tape, knock down the bead of resin, and we can surf.